Salutations everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week.
This is Mark Miller, and this is What Mattered.
So this week we got a lot of movie trailers that were shown at San Diego Comic-Con, which is where I was at. I never got to see any of them because Hall H is a bitch to get in. And people saw it, people leaked it, and then they were eventually released online, at least most of them. And so we have a lot to talk about. So let's start with Batman vs. Superman. We got a new trailer that showed us a lot more than we've ever seen before. That really gave us a much better look on the perspective of this older Bruce Wayne, and as well as Superman. I think they did a very, very good job at showing both perspectives of this showdown that will be coming down between an older Batman and the new up-and-coming god that is Superman. All the destruction that was left in his fight with the General Zod. We got to see Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. We saw Zod's body and kryptonite. What does all of that mean? We saw the Wayne Industries tower being completely destroyed, with a lot of people that Bruce Wayne knew are dead and is understandably upset with this brand new alien that could kill everybody if he wanted to, and he's got to put this guy in check, and because he's just so much of an unknown and dangerous entity. We got to see the memorial to a dead Robin, most probably Jason Todd, and the implications that might have in Ben Affleck's Batman movie that he'll be writing, directing sometime in the future. So that definitely has a lot of promise. We definitely got to see the tone of the movie set, the kind of action that we should be expecting, and I was pretty encouraged by this trailer. A lot is riding on this movie, a lot. The entire DC movie universe have all of their chips in this one pot that is Batman vs. Superman. If this doesn't do well, it doesn't spell good news for the other movies that they have planned through 2020. And the other movie that we saw for DC was Suicide Squad. That trailer, we've seen for the first time any footage of the actual movie, of course leaked from Hall H people, and then subsequently officially released on the internets, and it was also encouraging. There is a lot that can go wrong with this film if they focus too much on Harley Quinn just because she's the most popular character in the world right now. If they focus on her too much, that'll be a very big detriment. If Will Smith actually doesn't play Will Smith for the 30th time in his movies and actually does a good Deadshot, and they do the Suicide Squad as a squad justice. I mean, they have good casting. Everyone is older. Because we know we already have an older Batman. Batman has obviously put these people away for Amanda Waller, who Viola Davis, another good casting choice, he's put them all away, so of course they're going to be older. We know Will Smith is older. Jared Leto is a lot older than most people think he looks. I mean, the dude's like 43. So yeah, he can play a Joker, and what we have seen, that's doable. I'll believe him as this Joker. There's many different ways to do a Joker. A lot of people will want to compare to what any Joker does from now on with what Heath Ledger did in his Oscar-winning performance. But there are many different ways to do Joker, both in the comics, in an animated series, through voice acting, or through acting on screen. A lot of different ways to go, and I can buy this one. It might not be my favorites, but I can definitely see this as a good representation of Joker, regardless of the look. It all matters on the acting and the script. So we'll see what comes of that. We got to see Jai Courtney as Boomerang. We got to see Katana and Killer Croc and Rick Flag, and of course Harley Quinn and Deadshot and the Joker. So we'll see what comes of this. Hopefully the studio heads don't ruin this with what they want to do to have this mass appeal that this kind of movie can have, being the first ever villain movie for a comic book character, and a cast of villains at that. So I'm a little bit more encouraged, but still a little apprehensive on what they could turn this movie into. Deadpool was shown, the first footage ever that will be coming out in February, and it seemed to be the big hit of Comic-Con. The people who got to see it were absolutely blown away. Rob Liefeld said it's like the best depiction of Deadpool ever. Coming from the creator of Deadpool, that holds at least a little bit of weight, saying it was very, very true to the character. It was funnier than any Deadpool comic. It was more violent than any Deadpool comic. It is a hard R. There is language. There is death. There is blood. There is fighting. There's breaking the fourth wall. There are chimichangas. It's everything from what we've heard that a Deadpool movie should be, and that's very, very encouraging for more movies like this to be made, more faithful to the comic, more violent and graphic, and it just seems like it's gonna be amazing because that's what absolutely everyone has been saying. And of course, you can't stop talking about big movies without at least mentioning Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, they didn't show a new trailer or really any new footage. They showed some behind the scenes stuff with the actors and the crew and the extras and the animatronics and the makeup and stuff, and the old cast as well as the new cast, and it gives you a lot of, you know, old nostalgic feelings about the original trilogy, as well as looking forward to what this storyline has in store for us. The prequels are done with. Now we can see what has happened since the end of the Return of the Jedi, and it's hard not to get insanely hyped for The Force Awakens. I think, quote me right now, I think it's going to be the biggest movie of all time. I think it's going to beat out Avatar in the box office. It already has such a huge fan base, and after seeing the success of Jurassic World being the fastest of 5 billion ever, or whatever the hell it's done, it's broken every single record it can possibly do with the time allotted so far. And with such a big fan base like Star Wars, having the original cast coming back, as well as just, you know, more kids have been born since the last Star Wars movie, or even you know, the original trilogy. It has so many things going for it. You know, the nerd culture has become much more mainstream, so I don't see how it cannot be the biggest movie of all time. And it seems like it's going to be a pretty darn good one. We haven't seen a lot, we haven't heard a lot, but we know a lot of the amazing actors involved in it. We know J.J. Abrams hasn't made a bad movie in a long time, if ever, and it's just hard not to get super hyped for this film because I'm super hyped.
And now a little bit of Quickie news. The next wave of Amiibos will be coming out July 31st with Palutena and Dark Pit. Palutena has been confirmed as an Amazon exclusive and Dark Pit a Best Buy exclusive. Best Buy has said there will be no pre-orders for Dark Pit, so if you want them, you're going to have to come to their store and get the 2 that they will probably have available to sell. The director of Metal Gear Vengeance says he wants to make a Kill la Kill or a Berserk video game. This Platinum Games developer has been able to work on Star Fox, which he said was always a dream of his, and after working on the Legend of Korra video game, another anime video game might not be out of reach. I saw Antman, the last movie of the Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was pretty decent. Didn't blow me out of the water, nothing that you wouldn't expect. There is a mid and post-credit scene, so be sure to stay tuned for those. But overall, it was just, you know what, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. It was just able to skirt by. It was as good as it needed to be. We did get a new Fantastic Four trailer, but really didn't get to see more about the film. Just a lot more attention paid on Johnny Storm. We got our first ever images of Apocalypse. We got to see Olivia Munn as Psylocke, who looks very nice. We got to see the new Storm. We got to see Magneto's new outfit. And then, of course, we got to see Apocalypse, who looks like a crossbreed of the Frost Giant from the first Thor movie and Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. Seriously, he looks like a generic sci-fi villain that you would see from a Stargate episode. It's just really disappointing. How hard is it to make an Apocalypse? They did Thanos right, you can do Apocalypse right. Come on, this is just generic and dumb. He's the first ever mutant. Make him look threatening and not like a throwaway toy from McDonald's. EVO 2015 is currently underway. If you're not watching it, what on earth are you doing watching this video? Go watch EVO. The biggest Smash tournament in history in terms of competitors and competition. Smash 4 on EVO for the first time, and Melee of always going to be drawing a crowd. I'm rooting for my boy Hungrybox to bring it home without hopefully any broken controller incidents, and he favorited my tweet, so you should all be jelly. I mean, they also have other fighting games there too. You know, whatever floats your boat.
Anywho, the Blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you like to know what matters in the future, you get a subscribe button. One of these comes out every single Saturday. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave your comments below on any of the stories that I have mentioned today, and I will see you guys next time.